that is CBD dominant. There is a little THC in it. Then you have the actual bud or the flower, and that is THC dominant with some CBD mixed in. So they take the plant and they grind it down and they extract out the oils from the plant. Well, and we use the cannabinoids. There are approximately 113 cannabinoids within the cannabis plant. You see how the names sound very similar?
Yeah.
Cannabis plant, cannabinoids, and this is called the endocannabinoid system. All that means is we have receptors in the body, and when a cannabinoid enters our body, it has an affinity and it binds to the cannabinoid receptor. That's simple. It's natural.
It's natural. Yeah.
Natural. So it's already built in our bodies.
Right.
It's endocannabinoid system. It's already in our bodies. So we take that plant, grind it down, extract out the chemicals, the cannabinoids, the oil itself. The two main chemicals are tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, and cannabidiol, CBD. Based on the ratio, the percentage of THC versus CBD, we will choose that and prescribe it for the specific condition.
Right. We have a lot of seniors who suffer from what they call arthritic knees, and I have a brother in the church who really goes through a lot of pain with arthritic knees, arthritis. It's not in the book, but when you talk about back pain and whatnot, how does that? How would the cannabis affect this particular situation?
So let's say arthritis, you have pain, and it's typically it's inflammatory pain.
Right.
And CBD has anti-inflammatory properties. I love CBD. You asked me a question to follow up from the last question about maybe side effects. What are side effects? So you have THC, tetrahydrocannabinol. That particular chemical has CB1 receptors, and those receptors are primarily found in the central nervous system. So if you take a lot of THC, then you'll start to feel the psychoactive properties, and that'd be the stoner's high. Some people get very paranoid, some people get anxious, some people get the munchies because it's an appetite stimulant, or they get sedation, they fall asleep. When you get into recreational marijuana, the THC is very high. So let's put things into perspective. During Woodstock in the late 60s, the THC was about 20 to 25%.
Right.
20, 25%. Recreational today, it's as high as 91%. That's a tremendous difference in strength.
Right.
So if you're using recreational, we're going to stimulate a lot more CBD, or we're going to bind to more CB1 receptors, and then we're going to see more CNS side effects. And that would be your psychoactive properties, your stoner's high, your paranoia, anxiety, the munchies. Everyone always says, I got the munchies, potato chips, or they're just going to fall asleep. Okay. Now,
because I don't want people to think that medical marijuana is what we're talking about. So let's clarify that.
Yes, I was just discussing recreational.
Okay.
And that's because the THC can be as high as 91%.
Okay, recreational and medicinal. Explain those two.
Sure. Well, they're the same exact plant.
Yeah.
The difference is the ratio of THC to CBD.
And explain that.
Okay, so you have the two chemicals that I explained, the cannabinoids, tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, and CBD. Okay, structurally they look identical, except CBD is lacking one bond, therefore it has different receptors because it has a different characteristic. Those are the two main chemicals that we use to treat medical conditions. Recreational, the THC, that has THC has the psychoactive properties. Recreational, that's what gets you high. That's why they want to do it. They want to have the CNS, that effect, that euphoria. Some people want the anxiety. Some people want the paranoia. Everyone's different.
We're not talking about, the book makes it clear that you're not talking about medicinal. We're not talking about treating something. We're talking now recreational.
This is recreational.
Okay.
Yep. My book is not about recreational. This is about medicinal. And right now I'm describing the difference between recreational versus medicinal. So
Right.
the recreational THC is going to be very, very high, and we're going to affect the central nervous system. And that's when you're going to start to see the spicoli at fast times when birds are high. Those, the stoner effect, the sedation and falling asleep. With medical cannabis, the THC is going to be in the 20-25% like it was back in the 60s. Okay? So the goal here is to make you comfortable and functional versus being high and zooted, out of there,
Right.
just tune out and turn off, they're out.
Folks, this is the reason why you need to get this book.